Alrighty, welcome to the team call. It is April 11th, and I appreciate you all being here and taking the time out of your day because I know everybody's busy and everybody has lives and jobs and kids and other priorities, so I really appreciate it. I wanted to make sure you guys know anyone that's going to Summit. I know Haley is for sure, me and Audrey and Bree for sure. I'm not sure if anyone else is, but if you have any coaches or anyone is, track registration opens up on the 18th. That is next Monday. We are going to shoot for, which track are we doing? I think it's Blue Track Hall D, just so you know, so it's on recording. Okay. And I'm going to be gone. I just want you guys to know, I'm still going to do my best to be available. But I hustled super hard in the beginning of this month because I wanted to make sure I hit my goals before I left for vacation. I feel like that's super important, and we have the luxury in this business to kind of work the hours we want to work. So I worked until 2 a.m. most nights last week and the week before, just so I would crush my goals. My mom's going to come up on Wednesday, and I want to spend her birthday with her and not be stressed out. And then I'm going to go hopefully take a random surprise trip to the dunes with Cody. So, all right. So I wanted Haley to speak tonight because she's super consistent in the vital behavior. Number one, mainly, I really love how she shares her story, always, relentlessly. She's super good at taking us back to how she used to feel and where she was before, her journey and Beachbody and everything. I just thought it was super important, for you guys to get to know her as well. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Haley. So I'll tell you first, I don't know if you guys know my story. I don't actually think Candace even knows my whole story. Chunks. So I guess it started, I had a good life. I was very sheltered. My mom's an alcoholic, so that's about it. But I had a good life, and then it was junior year. Yeah, my fiance's mom had a stroke, so we both went on to East High, which is a continuation school. You only go to school until noon. And we took care of her. And so that, I was 17, just turned 17 at the time. So that was when everything started. So what happened for me was that took up all of my time, my space, and my energy, everything that I had, because she had become completely immobile. And it was pretty much I just all of a sudden was given a child and was here, take care of this child. And you have no knowledge of what to do, but do it, and no one's going to help you. And here you go. So that was it. That was my life. My life was put on pause for 3 years. We were treated horribly to where, I wasn't even called my name. I was called really mean names that I'm not going to repeat. My fiance and I were on a lot of drugs. We drank a lot just to cope with what was going on. That was a lot to take on at a young age, especially from being so sheltered. I knew nothing but good. And so anyway, eventually we kind of realized what was going on, and we just left in the middle of the night. We packed up all of our stuff and we put it in the back of James's truck, and we just left. And we lived in campgrounds and we lived in cabins. Eventually we were able to upgrade to the cabin at the campground. And then is Jenna on this call? Yes, Jenna's on this call. Jenna's family helped us out tremendously. I love you guys very much for that. They let us live in their trailer in their backyard until we could get our stuff together. So that's what happened. But at that point, you're just so gone and you're so mean, and I was really mean, and I was in a really bad place. I was at my highest weight. We got our apartment. I got a job. I entered school, but I was just in zombie mode. So that was where that was. It was not a good place at all. I didn't even want to be on this earth. It was horrible. So I was at the turkey trot the year before last, and my cousin mentioned Candace's name and said, go check her out. I think she can really help you. And so I did. I checked her out. I read her whole blog and everything. And I connected with her, and it was weird. It was instant, this is what I need to do. I need to do something before something bad really happens. And it was an instant I don't know. It was so weird. It was like a click. So the thing that got me with her was when she kept saying that she couldn't stick to anything, because that was me. I can't stick to anything. And so I was like, okay, I need this girl. So I joined on as a coach, and I worked my butt off extra. I was a caregiver for elderly people, and I worked my butt off so that I could buy the challenge pack and sign up as a coach. And I got the 21-day fix, and that was where it all started. That was a year ago this month, actually. So my first thing that I started to do, which I think is number one thing that got me going, like fuels my fire every single day, is I started taking pictures, like all the time, pictures all the time. And because when I'm unmotivated, the first thing I need to do is see my change. And you will not see your change if you're not, checking it out through pictures. You won't see it. And if you can go back, get an app where you can compare these pictures and just check it out. Like zoom in, do whatever you have to do because it will work. Take your measurements also. I have my measurements from last April still hanging up on my wall with all of my other ones from all the rounds of 21-day fix and size and 21-day fix extreme and now 22-minute hardcore, which I'm loving. I have all of that still hanging up and still documented so that I can go back and I can see where I was and where I am now. The next thing is that got me going is I live in such a small town. I don't know if you guys live in small towns, but people are watching me. And when I first started this, Candace told me, you need to post your pictures. Like, I don't care if you feel horribly bad about it. Like, you have to do it. You need accountability. So I did it. I live in a small town. People saw those pictures and it was horrifying. And I knew people were watching because when you go out and people say, hey, I saw your post on Facebook, like, you have to remember people are watching you because they want to see you. It's like a natural human thing to think they're watching you because they envy you, but a lot of them aren't. They're watching you because they want to see you progress and they want to see you do better. And so that was something that really clicked in my head too. A lot of people around here I thought did not like me, but they've actually, like, they cheer me on. I go out and they cheer me on and I'm like, what the heck? Like, thanks. Okay, we're friends now. So, yeah. Another thing that I do this all over the place. I write love notes to myself. I write them all over my mirrors with little dry erase markers. I do it on my alarm clock when I wake up in the morning. My alarm clock says, wakey, wakey, beautiful, time to sweat. So that's one thing that I do. Be nice. Be very nice in your love notes too. Be very nice to yourself. Like, I'm serious. You have to, like, almost talk to yourself like you are in love with yourself. Even if you are in love with yourself, that's great. But a lot of people aren't. Pretend it. Pretend that you are. And write it and read that every day. My bathroom mirror says, I'm going to make you so damn proud. And I have. So you read it every day and you do it. Celebrate every single victory. Share that victory. Share it on your page. Share it with your friends. Call your mom or whoever. Like, share that victory no matter how small. If people are hating, then they can go away. That's fine. But people really will help you, and I find that sharing my victories and celebrating that really helps because just hearing people cheer me on is a really huge motivator, especially people from our team. But people have reached out that I never expected to reach out, and they cheer me on, and they say, oh, I had this struggle too, and to just seeing you overcome this small thing really helps me overcome it because I thought, some girl said to me today, I thought that I was stupid for struggling with this, and then you posting about it made me get up and do something about it. So that feels really good, and it makes you want to keep doing it, but you're also helping other people. So that's really great. Celebrate every single victory that you have. Document and celebrate it and share it and brag about yourself because you earned it. People relate to you and they want to interact and they want to cheer you on. Let's see. The next thing I have, slow down. I'm really spur of the moment. I like to just spontaneously do things, and that's really bad, especially when it comes to food. I am really good at instantly rationalizing things in my head and it's a bad habit. So slow down and think all your decisions through. That even comes to sharing. When I go to make a post, the first thing I do is stop and think about what somebody else would want to read. So what would I want to read if I'm on somebody else's page? Like, I have a topic that I want to talk about, and so I think about that topic, and then I try to turn it around. If I was going to read about this on somebody else's page and that's going to motivate me and want to reach out for help, what would I be reading? And so I stop and I think about that, and that's the first thing. Just write it down. Even if you don't end up putting it in your post, just write it down because it really helps shape your posts. Really think about your decisions, every single one, everything that you write, everything that you put in your mouth, every rep that you stop at, like just think about it and slow down, because you will be affected by all of those small decisions, and those small little choices really build up. Let's see. Oh, another quote I put, change is not always physical. I really started to get unmotivated around January because my weight plateaued and I could not get under 184 for months, literally months. I dropped 45 pounds in 8 months, I think, and then stopped, and I could not lose weight for months. And I was getting so frustrated. So, but during that time, I was doing so much personal development that I just had to keep telling myself, change is not always physical. I grew, and then I got the 22-minute hardcore, and that ended my plateau. But until then, I just had to bang out on my mind and do my personal development and keep myself up here, because I'm really, really good at slipping down and disappearing. So just remind yourself of your value physically and emotionally. Reach out. If you have struggles, reach out to the team. If you don't know what to say, reach out to anybody. Like Jenna and I talk a lot. Reach out to anybody on the team, post, find someone that's a positive influence for you, because they really help. They influence, like Jenna really helps me. We've become business partners now. I just want to announce that. She really helps motivate me, like on days when I don't want to post because I'm freaking exhausted, because I'm a full-time student right now and I graduate in a month. And so everything that I'm doing is focusing on school, and I'm trying really hard to keep like my fitness and all that up here. And I found it a lot easier when I found someone to motivate me and text message me and be like, hey, what's up? You know, like, why aren't you posting? Are you okay? Like, so find someone that really will hold you accountable and lose the negativity. Don't talk to yourself mean. Be nice. What consumes your mind controls your life. Don't forget that. So yeah, that's my favorite quote. The last few things I have here is, if you think it's going to help something when it comes to sharing on your posts, if you think it's going to help somebody, post it. Don't turn back, just post it. Like, even if you have to post it and then put your phone down and run away, just do it. Because it'll be worth it, I promise. And the last thing, this actually helped me extremely. Screenshot other coaches' posts for ideas and tweak them to make them yours. But I have so many pictures of posts from like months ago, and that I still go back and I look at them and I'm like, okay, and just like change some of the words because I love them. So do that. It really helps. And yeah, that's really been helping me the last couple months. Especially after you've been doing this for months and you run out of ideas. So
that's perfect. I absolutely love what you said about screen sharing the post. I think you're totally right on that. Like, it's hard to come up with new content constantly, and it's okay to recycle. Like, it's 100%, even your own post, like 300% okay to recycle. This is amazing. I was like taking notes and writing things down. It's crazy when you work in a business where like you're part of a team that all encourages each other. Like, that really stood out to me when you said that. It really helps you, like, when especially people from the team like cheer you on. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before working in a business. Like, it's always competitive before, you know, like where you were competing against the people you were working with. And like, like when I went on the cruise and I came back and you guys were all like, I'm so glad you were there. Honestly, like my first reaction was when I come back, I was going to be like people were going to be like, not like jealous, but like resentful. And it was like, no, people supported and they were happy and they loved it. And I loved everything that you said. I love that you said take photos. Like that is my like main thing. Like in the beginning that motivated me to get like on my game is I have to see it side by side. It's super important because I'm a visual learner. So if I don't see the side by side comparison constantly, like I'm not motivated. I love that you said that.
Like James will come home and I'll be sitting on my computer staring at pictures of myself. He's like, really? Like, shut up.
No, that's perfect. I did the same thing and it kept me going. Even if it was a tiny change where I'd be like, oh, look, a tiny line. I'd be like, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, totally. I do that.
Things. I love that you said the love note thing too, because you're right. What, excuse me, sorry, battling allergies. Would you say what consumes your mind controls your life?
I love that quote.
Bree was the first person that I ever met that I coached that shared with me her little Post-it notes. And I remember it, her little Post-it notes were so colorful all over like her mirror or wherever the heck she had them. And I was like, that is such a brilliant idea. So she was like, yeah, I do that all the time. I'm like, you do? So I'm like, cool. So I started doing it too. I'm so glad that you brought that up because like, even if you think you're not paying attention, you still see it and you still read it and you're still planting that positive, like you're forcing it and then you believe it.
Especially if you do it in the bathroom. Because I don't know about you guys, but like my house is really small. So if James and I are like fighting or something and I get mad, I'll just go straight into the bathroom and just shut the door. And so then I'm standing there looking in the mirror, but then I'm reading this over and over again. And I'm like, all right, okay, like you're pretty badass. Like this is fun.
I love that. That's perfect. I also love how you said to celebrate every single victory, even if it's something really small. I think that's super important in this business, and I know I can be guilty of not doing it enough because it seems something so small, but it's a part of our journey, and if we don't share it, like, people aren't going to know, you know what I mean? And it helps to be like, hey, we're achieving things like progress, even if it's like this big, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. Have you guys ever seen We're the Millers? Because I keep saying, you know what I mean? And I remind myself of that guy. It's like, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I keep saying it over and over. Know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
That always seems to happen.
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, people are always watching. That was my last thing that I wrote down that you said. That is so true. People are always watching. Even I know you said in a small town, so they're like especially watching because like everybody knows everybody, but like even people you don't even know, like how you said people reach out to you and you'd be like, I didn't even think they liked me. I experience that so much now from people from high school that I thought we would never be friends, and now like some of them are coaches on the team, and it just like blows my mind. People are always watching and they want to see you succeed.
Yeah, that brings up another thing too. I've became friends with a lot of those people who I never thought that I would be friends with, which has weeded out a lot of my friends that I already have. And that was really hard for me at first because, like, you know, we've been friends forever and these people are just gonna be negative Nancy's. So you just kind of have to learn, like, your vibe is your tribe. Obviously you attract these people for a reason and the other ones go away for a reason. So
I absolutely agree with you on that. Like, I feel like a lot of the people that were in my life just because we were close, like at work. We were forced to be together, you know, school, work, and stuff like that. So, can you see the chat, Haley?
Yeah.
Celebrate it with laundry. Oh, God.
Seriously. Oh, my gosh. Or dishes. Ugh.
You guys should unmute so you can talk. Does anyone have anything to add? Because it's fun when you guys talk. I know it's weird talking, but I feel like you guys have valuable stuff to say. That was a great call. I was like, I'm super sweaty over here, not just because of nerves, because at first I almost cried when you were telling the beginning of your story.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't like watching you, because I probably would have cried.
You have a really powerful story, and it's like you've come so far, like to know you back then, and then, you know, I don't know. It's like so weird the way that you reached out to me, just to even think that was even possible. She just mentioned me, and then you're like, hey. You know? Yeah,
it's so weird. And at that time too, I never even knew your guys' relationship until like months later.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you guys were close, or, you know, even had pictures together when you were younger with your colorful hair.
I know. drinking because that's all I used to do. All I used to do is drink. Lindsay said she used to celebrate her victories by shopping and buying a bunch of crap she didn't need. And Bree said she used to celebrate it with food, and now she learned so many different ways. And Trevor celebrates with laundry.
I like to celebrate with hikes.
Yeah, it's funny. The other day, I found myself kind of bummed because Cody's been gone, and we've kind of been in a funk. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, we're in a funk. And so I found myself thinking, I'll just go shopping, because in my head I was like, that'll make me happy. But like, that's such an empty thing, when you celebrate things with like stuff like that instead of doing something for your body. I'm like, no, I'm actually gonna read, and I'm gonna actually like do stuff and go for a walk and go outside, because it's crazy, like the shit that you used to do, I mean, still do. It's still a battle. Obviously, if it came to my mind, it's still a battle to like fill that void with something instead of something like positive, like working out or improving my mind.
Definitely.
But, seeing if I missed anything that I noted. Oh, I love what you said about slowing down. That's such an important thing, because I'm the same way. Like, sometimes it's hard when you're leading with like passion and excitement. You just want to like blah, 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 and vomit it all out on people because, you're excited. But Lindsay and I were just talking about the other day how important it is, like, before you just like post, just posting is what I'm talking about, but I know you're talking about everything in general, to really like think about the message that you're trying to get across, and what would you want to read if you were someone that stumbled across this post, rather than just like blurting it all out. Really take a moment to think about it and organize it and make sure it gets across, and then obviously add the call to action at the end so people can know that they can do whatever you're doing as well. I love that you said that.
Yeah, I always like to put, like, I like to tell it and then put, just ask me anything, and with my email. So
it's perfect.
Yeah.
What else? People are always watching. Yes, they are. Does anyone have anything to add or ask or say or anything? That was a really great call.
What was your official date that you started coaching?
That I started what?
Coaching.
Oh, sorry. April 2nd. Yeah. I just had my 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
Hey. Yeah, but I was gonna go to Humboldt State University, and the universe aligned in a way where my application just happened to not get accepted, and all this stuff happened. So I have a year off, and I think that that's just the world telling me you need to coach. Focus on coaching only. So.
Well, you're a great coach, obviously. Like, look at how hard Jenna's rocking over there.
I know. She blows me away. Like, holy cow. Like, seriously, I got to step my game up because Jenna is kicking ass.
She learns from you, It's great. So Audrey says, she said the call was wonderful, and she had no idea about your earlier life struggles. Is it something that you've posted about? If not, do you think that you would ever, she said pay, but I think she meant post about it. Would you ever post about that, or have you ever?
I think only once or twice. I think only because that's James's thing, and he gets like, he doesn't want to even think about it, and he follows me, so I'll just have to find a way to do that without hurting his feelings, that's a fine line.
I exactly agree with you. We were actually just talking about this in one of our success groups earlier, because I was talking about my marriage and how we've been going through kind of some crap. And I was like, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it in a way that's too, like icky or anything. And one of the girls Lindsay suggested writing down the things that I've learned, the things I'm doing differently now as the person I am now versus what I would have done then, and then just focus on that, rather than being like, and then he said this, and then I was like this, and it was like, that's always icky to read. But if you can like focus on pulling the positives out of the situation, that might help. I know I'm still working on trying to figure out how to word it, because when I don't talk about my struggles, I feel like I'm like faking it, like, and I don't like that feeling. Like right now I'm like, I want to talk about this publicly with people and let them know, like, yes, I'm real, I'm going through struggles with marriage, but like, it doesn't define me, and I don't want to like talk badly about him, but I need to like say like I'm real and I'm working on it, because like by not talking about it, it makes me feel like a little clam, and then I don't want to talk about anything because that's what I'm going through, and then by not talking about like the real stuff, I feel like a fraud. Like, it's just icky. But I rambled, but yeah.
I know.
That's
why I have to stop too. I have to like go through and cut things out of my posts, because I'll just be like,
Yeah, I do the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with writing a super long post and just getting it all out and then going back and drafting it, like having a rough draft, because like just getting it out, even just on, if you're just typing it, feels better than having it all like crammed and jumbled up in here anyways.
Definitely. And for people who are writers, like go into your journals and pull stuff out of there, because I've gotten so many memories out of my journals and stuff that I didn't even know about.
That's a great idea. I like that. You know, I never wrote in a journal, but I do absolutely love writing. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I write novels in all my posts almost. I don't mean to. It's just I'm like, I have a lot of stuff to say. I can just talk and talk and talk and talk. But yeah, I think we have like less than 10 minutes. Is there anything else anyone wants to add or ask or bring up? Or oh, Lindsay says always reread your posts. In the beginning, she would ramble and get really excited, and the post wouldn't have a clear message. And that I'm totally guilty of that too. Always reread. Sometimes it's okay to even be like, "Hey, so and so, you want to read my post for me?" Like I'll send it to some people sometimes.
Yeah. Another thing too. I have a friend, Lindsay, who also does Beachbody on a different team. And she likes to message me. I love this. Whenever she reads something on my posts that she thinks I could have added or shouldn't have said or something like that, she always messages me and lets me know like what she thinks. And I think at first I was like, who are you to like, okay. But I really appreciate it, because I've really been able to like learn how to just cut things out that aren't relevant. And so, I mean, if
cool
you guys see
it's like, cool to get a different perspective too from different teams and different vibes and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool that she does that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I have a completely unrelated question about challenge groups.
Yeah.
I'm setting up a challenge group May 2nd, and that's like a really far way away. And I've noticed that, well, it kind of is. But I've noticed that people, since they know it's that far away, like they're like waiting until the very last minute to like do anything, to like get set up, get on a plan, you know. And I feel like they might have time to like drop off or, you know, just avoid the situation. So do you think it's bad to like set it up that far in advance, or because I set it up like last week or like the week before?
No, I don't think that's bad. The same thing happened to me. I felt like people were waiting. Sometimes it's cool to, it really depends on how you're running your business. So if you were doing a challenge group probably like every single month and you always started on the first Monday of the month, you'd be pretty much setting yourself up for like Success Club almost every single month if you were posting consistently and talking about it like crazy. Because think about the statistic that they told us the other day, like, people need to hear things or see things like 18 times before it like really hits them. So we literally have to talk about it literally like every single day. So if that's the date that you picked, I would literally hammer it down and be like, and something you could do is say, I've only got X amount of spots left, or I'm looking for, you know, because like we have, you know, we don't want like this huge, obviously crowded group where nobody talks, but like you can make it intimate and be like, I only have X amount of spots left. You know, you can say, you can keep that number going down so it looks like urgent, you know. I'm trying to think. Does anyone have anything else to add to that, Audrey or Bree, as far as the date?
The week before, you could like do a prep of like make sure that they understand the whole meal plan of part of it, or any questions or answers, like do a Q&A that whole week before. I would recommend doing like a food shopping list, make something up, post it, and then one day do something with, you could do one with, I don't know, like certain exercises that people typically have trouble with, talking about form.
I think that's actually really good, the whole like food aspect of it, because if I like put up like a list of like the approved food on like my posts, and you know, that way people can like look at it and be like, hey, you know, I can do that. I can eat those foods. Like that should be no problem.
All these people that are going to be in your challenge groups, are they already ordering a challenge pack, or?
Well, that's the thing. I have like 3 people that are committed, but they haven't picked up the challenge pack yet.
Okay.
So, you know, it's like one of those things where,
on the 8th, like she mentioned this, I forgot because I haven't ran a challenge group for like a year, but if you were to get people in early, so if you say we actually open the group on the 18th and we do a prep the week before in the group, a private prep, like she said, like talk about the food, the prepping and all that, and then we begin the challenge on the 2nd, that is helping you out for this month, at least gives you a whole week of April.
And you can even like recommend those people pick up a personal development book, because I find the biggest thing that people need, it's not about like transforming and, you know, the whole meal prep. It is, but it's more about in your mind. So you really want to make sure that those people are prepared mentally that this is a lifestyle change, because a lot of them, after maybe a week and a half, they might just drop off. And I mean, it's kind of hard to pick up on those people. So really maybe recommend some personal development books for people. And I don't know if you're reading them yourself, but it's very helpful for new people.
I love personal development. I haven't like read shit since high school. So the fact that like I picked up a book and I'm like committed to it. Oops. That I'm like committed to it and it's actually like really interesting to me is like, I don't know, it's kind of blowing my mind. So I like can't like get enough of it really. So
awesome. Does that help though with like because I know what you're talking about. You're like crap, like people want to do it, but now they're gonna wait till May, so that kind of screws me for April. I've totally been there. And I like what Bree said about doing like the earlier thing for the group. Because if you say it opens on the 18th, like when we start learning stuff, that I better get it, you know.
I would recommend them to actually purchase their challenge pack. The deadline is going to have to be, let me pull up my.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the deadline.
Because have a deadline for
it in time anyways, unless they use on demand. But as far as, you know, for the purpose of hitting April goals.
Yeah.
I would tell them that they have to no later by next Thursday.
Yeah.
Because that's the 21st.
Yeah.
And I track Beachbody like a hawk, so if they ordered on a Thursday, it would be processed Thursday night, so they'll get it the following Thursday or Friday morning is when they usually get it. And then they'd have time for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday to look over the book and food shop and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's part of it, and that's actually funny that you say it's Thursday because at my work, we all get paid the same day, so it's like, you know, people can like run and hide from me, but I know that they're getting paid. So, you know, it's like, what are you going to do? I know when you get paid.
Also, something about that is like, don't put all your eggs in that basket. Like, don't count on those people because they're committed, but like that would be like you putting your success on dependent on them. And like, it's not like it's you know what I mean? Because in the beginning, I made that mistake of being like, well, these 3 people said that they were going to do it. So I'd wait. Like, I would just sit here and be like, and then to come around and they'd be like, oh, the car broke down. And then, oh, I got sick. And then, oh, I can't do it. And I'd be like, and it's like 2 days since the last day of the month. And I'm hustling like a madman, like staying up all hours of the night trying to hit my goal. So, but, we have less than a minute. Well, thank you guys for coming. If you have any more questions about the challenge group and stuff, please message me or post in the team page or whatever. But thank you, Haley, for speaking. That was amazing, and I love your story, and I love you, and I love everyone for being here, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye.
Bye.